The tragic story of Alan Kurdi brought a level of international attention to the ongoing migrant and refugee crisis affecting the Middle East and Europe. The image of Kurdi's lifeless body, taken by Nilüfer Demir of Turkey's DHA, was shared thousands of times online and made the front pages of newspapers all over the world. It was a decisive moment for the crisis, forcing the issue onto the agenda of governments across the world. However, Kurdi's story is just one of millions, and a story that we at Storyful have seen played out on social media time and again since the outbreak of Syria's civil war in 2011. The crisis in the Middle East, and in particular the ongoing Syrian civil war, have created the worst refugee crisis since World War II, with the UNHCR logging over 4 million registered refugees from Syria as of September 17th. Through social media, Storyful has been able to follow the routes taken by these refugees, from their cities of origin, through to Syria's borders with neighbouring countries, and all the way through Europe to their destinations, giving us a first-hand view of the difficulties and tragedies faced by refugees as they attempt to escape the horrors of the Syrian war. Aleppo, Syria's largest city, has been devastated in the war, with thousands of refugees fleeing the fighting between the Syrian army, rebel forces, and the Islamic State. One of the oldest and most historic cities in the Middle East, large parts of Aleppo, including the Souk al-Madinah, as seen here, have been destroyed. Children have not escaped the tragedy, with this video, posted by local activists, showing a young child being dramatically rescued from rubble in the city's Al-Mezaraya district. Food shortages have caused incredible desperation among the populace, as seen in footage here of bread queues, with many taking the high-risk option to flee for safety over the border to Turkey. Many refugees pass through the Bab el-Hawa border crossing, but the dangers often follow them, with the checkpoint frequently the scene of devastating attacks, as seen in this footage. Despite this, thousands of children like Alan Kurdi, have made the perilous journey with their families in the hope of reaching safety over the border in Turkey and beyond. But the journey brings its own dangers. Once refugees cross the border, they make their homes in refugee camps, often in difficult conditions, but some choose to continue their journeys west. Many, like Alan Kurdi, travel through Turkey and attempt to reach Europe by boat. Thousands leave from Bodrum in western Turkey every week to reach the Greek island of Kos and Lesbos, as captured in this video by a local resident. The journeys often end in tragedy, but despite the risk, thousands continue to attempt the journey every week. Some bring their young infants, with at least one case of a birth during a Mediterranean crossing recorded by the Italian Navy. Thousands of migrants and refugees have drowned in the Mediterranean while attempting to cross from Libya to the south and Turkey to the east. Footage posted to social media by the Greek Coast Guard shows just how overloaded these vessels are, not all lasting the crossing. British blogger Eric Kempson, a resident of Lesbos, has documented the arrival of hundreds of refugees and migrants to the island, and the flow of refugees and migrants shows no sign of abating. The conditions faced by refugees and migrants on the islands are often difficult, with many aiming to move on quickly towards Western Europe, and in particular Germany. Thousands of migrants and refugees continue to arrive every day, with the abysmal conditions often exacerbated by the responses of local authorities. Hungary's treatment of refugees in particular has been widely criticised by rights groups such as Human Rights Watch. Footage of the use of tear gas at the Roska border camp was widely shared on social media, sparking international outrage. Despite the conditions and the perils they face, thousands of refugees will continue to make the journey to escape the horrors of war in their home countries. Germany expects to receive hundreds of thousands of refugees and migrants this year alone. Following the tragic death of Kurdi, thousands of Germans took to train stations across the country to welcome arriving refugees. Their welcome provided a positive end to what was, for those arrivals, an all too often harrowing and devastating journey from the Middle East. As the crisis continues and more refugees and migrants undertake their journeys, social media helps us to tell their story in a way never before possible.